now, we are on a dirt road heading to, drumroll please, Landsford Canal State Park. Now, this is actually a really cool state park that is known mainly for its water lilies. Now, these are open from April to Mayish.
Yep. So we're hoping to maybe see some today as it's almost April.
Yeah, and this is like one of their main locations that they bloom. Let's talk about the history of Landsford Canal. So for those history nerds, this was used by Thomas Sumter and Colonel Williams R. Davies, using the river as a staging during the American Revolution. Now, when was this river built, Mom?
Well, the canal started back in the early 1800s, and it was built mainly to transport cotton from one part of South Carolina to another part of South Carolina. But it didn't last that long for that purpose, because in the mid-1800s, the railroad industry, exploded, and that became the major way to transport cotton.
Yeah, so it just made the canal obsolete. So today, what are we going to be doing?
We're going to be hiking
and geocaching. This is going to be our first time we're going to be doing this.
We just saw it online. We got the app on our phone today, and we think it sounds kind of fun, kind of exciting.
You're going to join us along our journey. Now on the dirt road going towards Landsford Canal.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's like 10:30 in the morning. It's so pretty. There's a little red barn in the background. I'm excited, Mom.
Me too.
Okay, so we just got our things stamped, which is cool. And now what we're gonna do, well, what the guy told us inside was that we can actually go to a little park stand, and they have a little stamper there. So
cool. If we realized probably this is like the way it is at other state parks too. If it's not park hours or you're at off season or something like that, there's somewhere around the park where you can get your stamp, because it was like kind of locked up, so we can just get it out and get it back.
Yeah. And now we're gonna find the geocaching.
Yes, we're going to attempt to geocache. So we got the app on our phone, and now we're gonna go to it and we're gonna try and see where it says loading geocaching. So this looks like something interesting. The Carolina Thread Trail says a regional network of greenways and trails linking 15 counties in North Carolina and South Carolina. CarolinaThreadTrail.org. We'll have to check that one out, Max.
This is really pretty. Mom, how far away are we from the geocaching?
It says we are 0.7 miles from the geocaching thing. We're on the Canal Trail, which is a 1.25 mile trail out and then back. So it's about 2.5 miles.
Mom, can I climb that log?
No. So this is really interesting. It's called a guard lock. And during the 19th century, the rivers of the South Carolina Piedmont were notorious for flooding. So this lock was used to safely lower boats into the canal when high river levels threatened to damage the bank's obstructions. The fine stonework seen here and along the rest of the canal was constructed by Irish masons under the direction of master contractor Robert Leckie of Scotland. So this is a beautiful stop just along the canal trail as it gets bigger and it goes closer over towards the Catawba River. As I'm standing here, I'm thinking this would be a really cool place if you wanted to bring your Eno. You could hang it up right here, Max, like in between these two trees.
We need to remember to bring that.
We do.
Right now we are within 90 or so feet of the thing. Kind of had to go back a little bit.
Okay.
Where does it say?
It says go like this way.
Is that a trail?
I don't know.
It looks like somebody's walked on it. Definitely off the beaten path.
9 feet, 9 feet.
There it is.
Oh, yes. We are definitely off the beaten path.
Yes, the path is like
way over there.
Over there.
We just kept following our GPS and here we are. Okay, Max.
Let's go. Do you want to do a ball or a frog?
Okay, so one of the things on the geocaching website, they said normally there's little trinkets inside the geocache container. And they also said you could replace it with one of your own trinkets. So
we open it.
So we did. On the other side, I think it's like a little,
This side.
here, I'll take this.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's see what's in here.
It's like I have to open.
It's so exciting.
Oh! Oh, is it coming up? No. I have to get this out. What am I doing wrong?
Here, let me try.
I think now I just need to yank it off.
Wow!
Oh,
Oh, very cool. What are some of the things in there, Max?
oh, there's a spider first.
Okay.
There's
Pot holders.
pot holders. There's a
Shrek movie.
Shrek movie. There's a
Secret of a New movie.
There's some funky glasses.
Oh.
There's some trash. Oh,
Oh.
here's the logbook.
And then they also said in the logbook you write your name. And a
There's a
sippy
water.
cup.
There's some antibacterial wipes. There's some
Add
Aleve.
a leave if you need some medicine.
Do we want to take any of this, Mom?
I think we're good, but let's just leave. We brought a ball, so we're going to leave the ball in there as our contribution.
Okay.
And then we're going to sign the log.
Let's sign it. This is so cool. Oh,
So we signed it, and now Mackie's going to close it up, and it'll be all sealed tight for the next person.
I kind of feel like I broke it. Okay. Landsford Canal State Park review. What are our thoughts, Mom?
It was a beautiful, beautiful park. We're a little early for the water lilies, spider water lilies. They don't come, the park ranger told us, so probably the end of May.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely going to come back and see those.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful hiking trails.
Beautiful, like nicely, if they weren't paved, they were gravel, and even if they weren't gravel, they're like compacted dirt, I guess. So very beautiful, nice and wide for two of us to walk side by side.
Lots and lots of turtles.
Turtles.
Lots and lots of butterflies. So it was real, real pretty. It was fun to see this time of year, end of March, all the green coming out on the trees. And but I think the funnest was the geocaching. That was so much fun. It was like a little, what did you call it, Mac?
A little treasure hunt.
Like a little treasure hunt. And when we got there, we got our treasure, or we didn't take anything, but we left something. It was kind of off the beaten path, so we kind of felt like we were like roughing it a
very
little.
off the beaten path.
But
what do we find out, Mom? Who planted it?
Oh, this one was planted by the South Carolina Park Ranger back in 2012. So it's kind of fun. So what would we rank Landsford Canal State Park?
I'm saying 8.
I'm saying an 8. I think it was a solid 8. And at different times of the year, it may be more. Also, the geocaching was off the beaten path. So if you come in the middle of summer, it's going to be a lot harder to find.
And there are going to probably be some snakes.
Snakes and different things because it was back. And even this time of year, there was a lot of bugs. So make sure that you bring your bug spray and that kind of thing.
And then the one thing I will say is there aren't too many trails. I think we went on the longest and it took like an hour including the geocaching. So don't plan on spending the entire day here unless you're going to be like canoeing and...
Which you could hit more than one state park on a day like today.
So what are we going to do, Mom?
We're going to hit another state park.
Woo woo, get 2 down. So where are we going?
We'll
tell you in a minute.
On the way.
We're traveling for our second adventure of the day to
Andrew Jackson State Park.
Now we are once again going to be geocaching. Woo! So the book that we typically find our information from doesn't really have anything about Andrew Jackson State Park. So all of our information is from this little book, the Official Guide to South Carolina State Parks. If you're going to be a South Carolina outsider, I definitely recommend getting it. That's like the official way to prove that you're an outsider. But talking about Andrew Jackson State Park. So it has a museum, which we're going to definitely hit up, talking about our 7th president of the United States of America. And it also has a
antique schoolhouse, which I think we'll check out, being that I'm a teacher, would be another good thing to check out. It also has a fishing pier, it has some hiking, but we're really looking forward to the museum, because I think that'll be a lot of fun. And the geocaching. So let's get on to it. All right, we'll see you there. Bye.
See you there. Okay, so it's on Andrew Jackson State Park. I got the stamp. Gonna line the 2 up.
So how many does this make it for us now?
We have done 3. We have 44 left to go.
Geocaching again, and we found it.
Right there.
So let's see what's in this one. This one was much easier to find than
Yes.
the last one.
Like, there's the path.
But
Here.
like we said in the last one, when all these trees and everything grow up, I think it will be harder to find it, like in the summertime.
Definitely. I'll let you stay. Go down, Mom. Open it up.
This one's definitely easier to open than the last one.
Yeah. You got like real ink on it.
Aww.
What's in it?
This one has a flashlight
Ooh.
and a cozy
Ooh.
and a car and a wet balloon, the log, ooh, all kinds of things. A spider ring, a,
Marker?
I don't know, ooh, necklaces, cool stuff. So what are we gonna leave in here, Max?
You want to leave a frog?
Let's leave a frog.
What do you want to take? Do you want to
I think we'll leave everything in here this time.
Okay. Frog.
There we go. We're gonna leave a frog.
People like canoeing and kayaking. It is on the smaller side, but that basically means like there can't be like big ol', like too big of a motorized boat, which is cool. For right now, we're basically just going where the geocache says to go. So we're following it. How far, Mom?
0.1 miles.
We got this. Okay, so not all geocaches look the same because this one is a little tube hanging from the tree. Let's open it up. Final review of Andrew Jackson State Park. So it was a really pretty state park with all of its historical elements.
We really enjoyed the schoolhouse, even though there wasn't anyone to give a tour today. It was still a neat replica of what a schoolhouse would have looked like back when Andrew Jackson would have been here. We also enjoyed the museum, which was also what his life would have been like, what his house would have been like, food he would have ate, that kind of thing. It was really interesting. His family was Scotch-Irish. They came over here from Ireland, and they were a wealthier-ish family over there. And then when they came here, life was really hard for them. But one of the things that really impressed me was he had a very strong mother, and she was very adamant that he was going to have a solid classical education, and that was really important to her, which contributed to him being President of the United States.
Yeah, so cool thing about what we did while geocaching was it just took us to a lot of different areas. So the geocaching location that we went to was down by the lake, which was a very nice lake for canoeing and kayaking, definitely.
Yeah.
The only thing about that was it was pretty close to the road, so it's kind of noisy.
You could hear all the cars going back and forth. So if you were out on the lake was very peaceful, but then you'd hear all this stuff in the background. And
So how do you want to rate this?
Oh, before we rate, the geocaching, we did 2 here. One was up by the museum, which was done by South Carolina Park Ranger. The second one was done by an individual who just put this in, and theirs was a little different, different type of container. I would rate this park, depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a historic site, probably about an 8. If you're looking for lots of hiking trails and a peaceful lake,
Like
maybe
a 6.
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
So overall, how about we rate this? A 6?
I would say a 6, a solid 6.
So if you're in the area and you want to go and you can't decide between going to
Landsford Canal or Andrew Jackson, because they're only about 20 minutes apart.
I would probably suggest going to Landsford Canal.
I would too, unless you really wanted the historical Andrew Jackson stuff, but Landsford Canal probably.
Thanks for watching. We'll
Happy
see you
travels.
next time.
Bye.